Hey, fellow humans, welcome to the Virtual Presentation Skills Podcast. I'm Kimberli, your host. As you well know, this is the show where we mix professional wisdom, a dash of humor, and a lot of really cool brain science. Most of you know I'm a neurolinguistics coach practitioner, and I'm passionate about matching virtual presentation skills to the actual brain science of how we show up in the 2D world. And it's been an amazing journey. And I have to tell you, our amazing guest today, Candace Cox, has been a part of that. Now, Candace, you officially have the title of retired, correct?
I do. Very recently.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything other than I admire that, and someday it will be in my storybook. But Candace's story is one that is absolutely amazing. And Candace is a barrier breaker, and she started her business in a time where it wasn't common for women to own businesses. And she started this business, she flourished, and now she's, in the big R pool. But Candace has been an absolute mentor, a colleague, a friend. She hired my company to work for her at one point in time. So we've got quite a history, probably, 7 or 8 years, do you think, Candace?
At least, yes.
So I want you to listen to her story. If you are somebody that is coming up through the ranks, and especially if you are female, listen to this story because this could be you. And Candace, with that, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Well, thank you very much. I am thrilled to be here with you and Kimberli, and hope that I can convey some bits of wisdom out there, especially for women that are trying to make it in a very tough business environment in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So how about start with your journey, maybe pre-business, where you were, and then
Okay.
walk us through how did you decide to start a business and what that looked like for you? Because from what I understand, you grew up in the Midwest during the 50s and 60s. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, Des Moines, Iowa.
What a time to start a business. I mean, I know you are just absolutely tenacious. And when you bite into something, being that curious person that you are, the
Mhm.
combination of curiosity and the tenacity, the drive to move forward
Mhm.
is something I am so drawn to. And I am absolutely grateful for you. So let's jump into that story.
Okay, be glad to do that. I've worked in the professional development business for over 40 years. I earned my Bachelor of Business Administration at my beloved University of Iowa, where my family went, my brother went, my kids went. And I have a master's degree from University of Arizona in marketing, and that was in
Oh,
the
wow.
70s.
Hmm.
Um, there were very few women in the business schools at that time.
Mhm.
And as a result, when we graduated, and this would be in the 70s, that the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, came around, and the ERA was in place at that point. So the young men who were hoping to interview with big companies were standing in line in the College of Business in the spring of our senior year, hoping for an interview. And I walked past them with a letter that invited me to come see U.S. Steel and Arne Stone
Wow.
and yeah, um, it was nice as a result of being uh, pointed out for 4 years at the university in my classes. But
Wow.
I'm glad I did that very much. I then went to the University of Arizona for marketing because I had a great professor at University of Iowa in marketing research. And I had a very good experience there. And there were by then more women that at least were getting their masters in in marketing research. But the reason I went to graduate school is when I took a job out of my undergraduate, I joined a company in pharmaceutical sales, and women were not um, walking, driving, knocking on doors of doctors and hospitals and pharmacies to sell certain pharmaceuticals. Not,
So what was it only allowed that men sell, or it just wasn't
it just,
accepted?
I think it wasn't because there was travel involved.
Oh.
I drove myself, around, based in Omaha, went throughout the entire Nebraska and a little bit of South Dakota,
Hmm.
in knee-high snow and wearing a skirt and heels and calling on doctors and hospitals.
No, wait, did you have to wear hose?
Oh, yes.
I heard this term the other day and I was thinking, did we ever call it hose? I'm not really sure. I think we called it stockings, but it
Yeah,
was really it was a basically a requirement. I wouldn't say that it was written into the employment contract, but we wore
right.
stockings. It was
Yeah.
absolutely unacceptable to show any part of your flesh. So anyway, I interviewed somebody the other day and she said the word hose and I just about lost it. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, we need to share this with the younger girls that are moving up through the ranks because some of this is just funny.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I would get to Western Nebraska selling pharmaceuticals and showing up at a emergency room door because that's where doctors come through for their day of work,
Mm.
and pitching a product that I really had no idea what I was saying, but there was a script about this was a new drug just out for open heart surgery.
Oh.
And the second day on the job, when I was in Omaha, I called on doctors, and one of them said, "If you're going to sell this, you need to see how it's used."
Hmm. That makes
So,
sense.
so they put me in scrubs, went into the operating room, and had me look over the partition for the patient whose chest was wide open, because
Whoa.
this is how they did open heart surgery back then.
Mm. Wow.
And after a couple of minutes, one of the anesthesiologists said, "Let's step outside." We did. And he said, "You're getting a little green around the gulls." And I was like, "Okay, I get that." Didn't know I was, but wow.
You
So
could
I will
tell.
always remember that,
Oh my
what
goodness.
that was about.
So then what took you from pharmaceutical to the next step?
It wasn't for me. I didn't care for the territory.
Mm.
I wasn't enthused about the products. I made a lot of money. They gave you a free car.
That's
That
nice.
was all great right out of college. But so that's when I decided to go back to graduate school
Mm.
and find a job in marketing research, which I did at Samsonite Luggage in Denver.
Samsonite.
Yeah, and that was the number one luggage manufacturer back then.
Mm.
And after 3 years, I was promoted to principal research analyst because they didn't know what else to do with me. I
Mm.
started out as junior and then senior and now principal. And I went into HR and I said, "Where do I go from here?" And he said, "Nowhere," because the
Mhm.
company was owned and managed by men with stay-at-home wives. It's like,
Mhm.
okay,
Got
so
it.
so much for that. So in 1980, I left Samsonite. I joined a university in Denver as the marketing manager in the College of Business for their management development seminars. and consulting.
Hmm.
And I was the one doing the direct mail of brochures going out to the Rocky Mountain region.
Fun job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But at least you get to research who primarily comes to these kinds of courses. They're
Oh.
non-credit.
Oh, interesting.
Um, what companies will support employees who want to be better educated on any topic of business, finance, accounting, marketing, whatever. So I I did that and finally ended up as director of the management center
Wow.
within the College of Business. And after serving mid-level managers and executives, the university and the dean in particular, Chris Christensen. When I was at the university, I reported to 7 deans in 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
The turnover was that fast.
Were they all men? Just curious.
Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
But then things really got crazy. So I left the university to start my own business. I had thankfully been able to work remotely because there were fax machines by that time,
Yeah.
besides telephones.
Yeah, I love
I
that. I love that.
I could report back, but I could work virtually from home, and I was on maternity leave.
Oh, so about what year was that you started working virtually, if you had to take a guess?
Um, I would say 1990, 88 to 90,
Wow.
91.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
I was very motivated.
Right.
Didn't get in the middle of some very strange politics.
Mm.
Um, so I finally, when things were not getting any better at the university, I decided I don't need that school brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go out and call on big companies like I always did and
Right.
ask them, what they needed in professional development and that I could find the experts. The experts might be on campus as full professors with talent to teach people beyond graduate school,
Mm.
so that middle managers to executives would appreciate the professor's platform skills as well as their knowledge in the subject.
That's just amazing that you had that innovation. And do you think your original career jump, moving from college to a couple of those first positions, really positioned you to feel like I already call on large corporations. I can do this. I can do this. I mean, how did you have the sense for believing in yourself? Where did that come from?
Probably my parents.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My,
I love
my
that.
mom, both parents were very supportive of women in business.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
and they were born in 1923.
Wow.
So they got very good genes in that
Hmm.
regard. And my mom was always very progressive in women's issues.
Mm,
And, she was one of those in her era of, as an adult in the 40s and the 50s, of working and um, her last job, I think, was the secretary to a partner in a big law firm.
mm.
And, he'd go to lunch and she would finish his work in the afternoon as a
Wow.
lawyer. She didn't
So
have
was
a
was your
problem.
mama a bit of a trailblazer as well, would you say?
Absolutely.
I love that. Now that is really good news for some people that maybe the
Yes,
trailblazing is genetic. I mean, I love
I,
this. So, Candace, let's just take a moment really quickly because I'm passionate about the virtual world and we offer the group virtual office audit. Let's move you back just a tiny bit from the screen because I'm not seeing your whole face. There we go. Now I can see your whole face and you can even
oh,
push the computer back. You can move yourself back if you want to. But
okay,
this, I mean, obviously this is what we teach, right? When you have your face in the
yes,
frame that's kind of like this or like this, it
yeah,
is one of those areas that your audience will not tell you that they are disengaging from you, but they can potentially disengage.
absolutely.
Yeah, just because something isn't correct subconsciously. So if we can see your whole face in the frame, that would be awesome. So that looks much, much better. Now I can see your whole beautiful face.
Great. Would you like me to go back or not?
Well, if you can you re-angle your camera just a tiny bit down, just a tiny bit,
Down?
like, yeah, there we go. Let's see if that works for you.
I don't know if that changed.
Okay, that cuts off the top of your head, so it needs to be up just a tiny bit. Let's see what we got. Nope, needs to go up a little bit more because now I'm just seeing you from the neck down. And you can look at yourself on the screen as well. Oh yeah, that's definitely better, but it needs to go down just a tiny little bit. And why the reason I'm so passionate about this for everybody is because everybody goes through, oh, that's perfect. Everybody goes through the same types of hurdles. So let's get
Yes.
back to your story and pick up where we were. And I think that was a really great interruption because most of you know I love to break things online and fix them real time. So that's perfect. Thank you.
Well, I think I broke it, so you fixed it. Thank you.
Perfect. See, we're still a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, I got my incentive from both parents, but my mom definitely raised me to believe I could do anything I wanted to do. And
That's just so amazing.
and there were women in my generation that thought the same. They went to law school, they went to medical school,
Yeah.
um, things that women didn't do before then.
Mm.
So
Well, I love that story. And I think that it's really for our listeners, if there is anybody listening, because this is in our virtual leadership rotation. People typically tune in to learn something new, something old, whatever the case may be, as it relates to leadership. And I think the stories, and I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit, the stories and the history is so important for us to know. And for those of us that have young children or will have young children, you've got to make sure that they know that they can do it. Candace, I mean, it sounds like there was never any question. You just always knew that you could do whatever you wanted to do.
yes, yes, because I had the support of my family.
Right, right.
No question, and that's a big deal to have. And I felt and feel so fortunate.
Mm.
When I got married in 1974, and my husband has been very supportive, and we've raised two kids that were taught to pursue what you love. So,
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's amazing. So take us to the time when you started UniVentures because that's how I connected with you was through UniVentures and
mhm.
bless your heart for seeing something in me, my company, the services we offered and are still offering that you might give a small woman owned business a chance for a contract like that, which was a very large contract at the time.
Yes, it was.
And I just am always so grateful that you said, yes, Kimberli, I'm going to trust you. And here we are. I mean, it must have been 6 years ago, right? 6, 7 years ago?
Something, oh, it seems
20, maybe
maybe more.
2019, 2020. Yeah. I mean, and so for me personally, feel like I can just reach out to you at any point in time. I can call you, email you, Candace, I have a question about this. I have a question about that. You always get back to me. And that kind of mentorship as we're moving up through the ranks is really important to pay
Yes.
back, in my opinion, because you are not going to find people who are going to grow through those zones of discomfort unless you
Right.
have that support. And
Right.
I didn't grow up that way. I didn't have the support of a mother. I mean, my grandmother, I was very young when she died, but I think I would have had her support. She was a bit of a trailblazer herself. But pay it forward. If you're listening, if you're hearing
Yes.
this, somebody needs a mentor, step up and provide that mentorship because it comes back in so many ways. So I got off track there just a little bit. But so
Absolutely.
UniVentures, that was the company you started. You had that innovation. And how many years was UniVentures in business?
Let's see, 30, no, 40, 40 some years.
Oh, that is just
Because
absolutely incredible. I mean, I love that. You started that company yourself and you ran it.
92.
Yes. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing. So, maybe talk a little bit about your passion for UniVentures and what you did in those times where you felt like giving up.
Well, the my thought around starting UniVentures was I loved working with colleagues at other universities when I was at a university.
Mm,
We all did the same thing, but we were scattered around the US and Canada and Mexico. And that's the group that I learned how to do the business of finding, sourcing, qualifying experts that had the right platform skills for the audience I was trying to serve. So with that, I spent a few weeks thinking about what am I going to call it. And I thought I definitely want to have the UNIV in the name. Don't want it to be much longer, but I came up with UniVentures with a capital UNIV, all one word. And I went it alone for a few years. And then a colleague of mine who did what I did at the university was being transferred, her husband was being transferred to Phoenix, where I was at the time. And I'm sorry, I was in Denver at the time.
mm.
Um, but we ended up both living in Phoenix and pursuing the business together.
Ah,
And we were a very good match.
mm,
She was very smart, no question about that. And I could imagine going into um, private companies that would have to be big enough to have um, resources to train and develop their middle managers and above,
mm,
and government agencies. And I had done some of those in the Denver area, and then did some nonprofits, but not a lot.
mhm.
But it was always in business related topics. And we just continued to grow the talent bank that I had before I brought her on. And I eventually added another colleague who was with a major company here in the Phoenix area, who was also in the training division.
Mm,
And
nice.
it just kept growing, and we got into a lot of resourcing in South America,
Mm, wow.
um, which was very interesting.
Mhm.
Um, went to sent faculty to the Middle East,
Hmm.
some in Europe, a couple in China, but other than that, it was scattered around the US. Really didn't do local training just because at the time it seemed like the big companies were already in tight with the several, either the university or consultant that can source colleagues of theirs.
Okay.
So we decided to do long distance.
Hey, so you have been a global company almost the entire time. So
Yes,
I heard two really important things, and one of them was believe in yourself, and the other was things started to grow for you when you took on, did you call them business partners or when you
business partners.
yeah. So
Mhm.
when you took on business partners, I mean, that's kind of scary for those of us that are solopreneurs, basically. It's always a scary time, but it sounds like they
Yes.
were a really great match for you. And so tell us what you relied on, whether it was external, internal, in the times where it just felt like, ah, oh, that's it. I'm done. God, what do you want me to do with this? Because I mean, I've only owned the business for 22 years. I mean, you're double the time that I have owned
Yeah,
this company, and I've had those times. So what did you do to continue forward?
I think it was just my internal motivation that I have to earn money for the family.
Mm.
My husband went back after playing professional baseball. He went back to get a master's to teach chemistry in high school.
Oh,
So I was the sole breadwinner
right.
and family of four,
Wow.
and I had to earn money to pay the rent,
Mm-hmm.
feed the family, and I knew that I did not ever want to go back into um, a company, a hierarchy. Um, that still it's a challenge for women
Mm-hmm.
and minorities to get ahead.
Right. Right.
So
I can attest to that.
I had a very independent streak in me. I always have.
Right.
And I didn't want to do anything different. I was happy with what I was doing.
Right. Well, I mean, you're making it sound like it's just a thing, but you have an incredible story. Most businesses fail in under 5 years. And to meet somebody, to be mentored by somebody, to work with somebody that is in your position is just incredible. I just don't come across these kinds of stories. So
Mhm.
I love that you say it was just really sheer grit. I mean, that's what the redneck girl in me would be saying. It's just, I mean, that was just sheer grit. You
Yeah.
really had to dig in. It was like you probably had a choice. You know, you probably would have been a very highly paid individual for a larger company, but you chose not to go that route, even
Right.
though it was probably uncomfortable at times. It was probably so hard. You
Hmm.
were questioning your sanity. I know I've done that.
Yes. Yes.
And then,
Yes.
so what I'm really interested, and I think our listeners will be really interested as well, is how did you transition a company that started many, many years ago, transition into more of a virtual space, not just a fax machine? I love the fax machine story. But how did you move past that? Because there are a lot of companies that still have not converted. They are not using webinars or podcasts or virtual presentations in their business because there's a little bit of fear. And I really feel like when you and I met, it was just like, here, I mean, I have a contract. I need whatever it was, 200 or 300 webinars or whatever it ended up being. This is what the project is. And you said to me, I don't know a lot about this, but I know how to manage these larger clients. And
Mhm.
I just thought that it was just so brave of you to bring on a new service that you really didn't know well. You knew what it was and you had an idea of kind of how it worked, but it was really brave of you. So, how did you make that transition into the virtual space and continue to thrive? What was the mindset?
Um, I I sometimes am surprised at myself when I find a needle in a haystack,
Mm,
and you were one of those.
thank you.
We were from, many miles away.
Hmm.
And it was the research, it was the curiosity for me to want to find the best of the best for this client because it was a big contract, as you say. I wanted somebody who was um, very adept at virtual presentations. I was not. I had only hired experts to do a few at the time. One of them, it was not the experts, but just digressing a bit, is there was in the early, late 80s, they started an organization that I knew through university conferences. There is an organization that was putting on massive um, teleconferences around the world, and they contacted me because they knew what I was doing to sign up universities to be the local host and sponsor of these top business speakers, experts, book writers that were household names in big business back then.
Hmm.
And so we started dialing up universities and say, we've got an event we would like you to host in your city. And these would be held in auditoriums. And it was the Peter Senge's, it was the Stephen Covey's,
Mm,
it was the Tom Peters of the world back then
wow.
that were speaking in one place, but it was being broadcast all over the world.
Right.
And that to me was fun.
Yeah.
To be
That
a
does
little
sound
piece
fun.
of that, to find um, the universities that would be a good fit and would be responsible for receiving several hundred, if not more, uh, auditoriums of people. They did not, the university did not have to do the marketing. The company that was orchestrating all of this did the marketing to the business people around the country and beyond. So it really was my connections with other university counterparts from when
Mhm.
I was at a university that I learned so much from them and got them involved in this, which they all love to do.
Right. But then you must have transitioned at some point in time to virtual meetings, online meetings. Was that forced because of COVID, or did you start transitioning before COVID?
Before COVID, certainly. It would have been, again, maybe in the late 80s, that the satellite based events were starting to happen. At
Oh,
least
oh,
I was
okay.
running into them.
It sounds
And
like we need a whole other podcast just on the history of virtual.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So, you have, fortunately, I didn't have to do anything regarding the technology
Right.
around the satellite-based presentations, but they were all locations were simultaneous with the exception of like places like Hawaii, that it
Oh.
would be way too early for them. So it was tape delayed.
Mm.
But everybody else was seeing it in real time in the US. And it just seemed that it was going the way of virtual, and
Mm.
I needed to get into the business of that.
Right.
So it was my research on the computer and finding you, Kimberli, and saying, I feel really good about this person, and she's responsible, she's talented, she's well spoken, and that's what I look for.
Oh, well, thank
And
you.
I found it. And we've been friends ever since.
Yes, absolutely. So, as we are moving toward the end of the show, what would you say to our listeners who are going through some sort of a transition, especially the transition to AI? And I know that you are in a spot where you are retired technically. I know you're really not, Candace. I know you. I know you're doing some sort of work and maybe your side hustle. Yeah, she cannot sit still, folks. This woman is truly a go getter. But maybe speak to a mindset that you might be able to share with our listeners, even if you don't have your finger on the pulse of AI and what that means going forward. I'm sure you know certain things about AI, but this is a huge transition. This is the
Yes.
transition to using a fax machine, for example, and being able to work virtually. And then all of a sudden, there are virtual meeting platforms. I started at WebEx in 2002, and I think they had been in business for maybe 5 years at that point in time, and nobody really knew what a virtual meeting was, let alone a webinar. We
Yeah.
had the dot-com boom. There have been these big transitions in our recent history, and now we're at another precipice. So how would you guide people from the perspective of transitioning into what's next? Because it's still very unknown for all of us. It's still very much
Yes.
unknown.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I am just starting to learn on purpose what's happening with AI.
Hmm.
So it's brand new to me as well, but it's um, crept into my daily life.
Yes.
I've found some positive things about it in asking a question, and then I get an answer from AI and decide whether that would be right or not, and I look elsewhere. But while until it replaces what humans have to bring to the world,
Hmm.
I think there will always be a need for other humans to want to engage in whether it's learning, whether it's sports, whether it's um, any other aspect of your life, with few exceptions,
Hmm.
that you want person to person contact. Or,
Good. I'm glad that you said that because I agree with you.
I mean, you can't replace Kimberli with a robot
Right.
unless
Right.
you can't tell that you are a robot.
Hmm.
And I may not live long enough to know that, but
Hmm.
um, it needs some rules and regulations,
Yeah.
ideally, and we'll
Yes.
see what happens with that. But
Yes. Well, I agree. There's some big name speakers that have said, You aren't going to be replaced by AI. You are going to be replaced by somebody who knows how to use the AI, which is a completely different perspective. Maybe even just a year
Yes.
ago, there were lots of conversations saying, oh, these people are going to lose their jobs and this is going to be horrible, et cetera, et cetera. And I just kept thinking, I've been in a place where I needed to learn a new skill to keep my job. How
Sure.
is that any different than what we're going through now? So, longer story there, but I'm incredibly excited. I think I shared in the beginning, I started building apps. This was completely on accident. I kid you not, but that's another show. Now, Candace, is there anything you'd like to close with for our listeners? Any words of wisdom, any last story you'd like to share? Anything?
Um, I would like to say that I've had some incredible experiences um, that I never thought I would have. The opportunity to shake hands with the President of the United States. Um, just things that because I circulate a lot, whether it's online or otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
um, just keep feeding your curiosity, Jean,
Mm,
and do what you love. And I love to to search and find things. And it's when I look at AI online, it's I'm searching to
right.
get an answer to a question, and I do more uh, question questioning than answering typically in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
But then I make the decision to use what I think is the best for the person that I'm trying to help or the company I'm trying to help. So,
Well, thank you. That is so fantastic. Would you like to be in touch with our listeners, or are you just completely shut down on all of your social media? What do you think?
I'm shutting down my social media pretty much.
Okay.
I never was as active as younger professionals, but that's okay. But I certainly, if I have somebody that comes through a true professional like you, Kimberly, I would want to offer whatever I could.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I think you're on LinkedIn and Facebook. I know you're probably shutting down, but knowing you're not going to completely step away 100%.
No,
So,
no.
this is Candace, Candace Cox, Cox. And, like she said, she is available if anybody would like to reach out. I would imagine that she's not on any kind of a schedule per se at this point. But I really feel like you would be a great speaker at events, for example. Are there any types of events that I might be able to refer you to, or is that something you're even interested in doing at this point?
I think at this point I want to step back from committing. Um, Number one, I'm very active with AAUW, which is American Association of University Women,
Hmm.
who advocate for women and girls.
Oh,
Been around forever. My mom was started the branch down here.
oh, wow.
And between that and very, very young grandchildren, got three going on four.
Yay!
Yeah. Um,
That is so
that,
exciting.
I don't think I want to speak anywhere, but I would be happy to. I am watching my computer inbox.
Hmm.
So, if somebody wants to reach out to me through you, or directly, I'm fine with that. But
Okay, is there a way that I can support AAUW?
uh, well, we for all of you out there, we one of our key missions down here is to help women with very sad backgrounds get STEM degrees at the local community college. And that includes Native American women and
Okay.
others who have grown up in poverty and
Mm.
are trying to make a better life for themselves. So any donations, we would love
Yes.
to have it.
Okay, okay, good. That's something that I can actually post about. So
That'd be
that
great.
is fantastic. That takes us to the end of this show. I look forward to meeting you in the next episode where we go live from the waist up.
Okay.